Welcome to another episode of the Expert Digital AI Podcast, where we deep dive into articles, books, and blog posts by Rick Spair.
Hey there. You know how AI seems to be everywhere these days? Well, get this. It's about to revolutionize classrooms, too. You sent over that Rick Spair blog post, and I gotta say, I dove right in. This whole idea of AI actually tailoring education to each student, it's not some far-off sci-fi thing anymore. It's becoming a reality.
It is really remarkable to think about. Imagine, a world where instead of those one-size-fits-all lessons, the whole educational experience is actually as unique as the student is.
Right. It's like having a personal tutor, but powered by, algorithms and stuff. Spair talks about AI being able to analyze how students learn and then suggest materials and activities that actually match how they learn best. Imagine how much more engaging school could be if everyone was learning in a way that actually clicked for them,
Yeah, it could be a game changer, especially for students who maybe struggle in those traditional classroom settings. And it's not even just about catching up. Spair's arguing this kind of personalized approach could help all students learn more effectively just by focusing on their strengths.
So a kid who's really good at, hands-on activities, they might do more lab experiments, while a visual learner might, dive into simulations or interactive diagrams?
Exactly. AI could help, tailor the delivery of information to actually best suit how each student learns best. And the best part is, this kind of learning could be really powerful for educational equity.
Okay, that's a big one. Educational equity. What does that look like in an AI-powered classroom?
Well, it means making sure that every student, no matter their background, has access to what they need to succeed. Imagine AI connecting schools that are under-resourced with, top-notch digital libraries, or students in rural areas getting virtual access to specialized teachers.
That's amazing. So we're talking about actually leveling the playing field and giving every student a real shot at a great education. But with all this talk about AI personalizing education, what happens to teachers in all of this? Are we going to see robots at the front of the classroom?
That's something a lot of people are wondering about, and Spair tackles it head on. He's arguing that AI isn't about replacing teachers. Instead, it's about fundamentally changing what they do in the classroom.
So less time grading papers and more time actually, teaching.
Exactly. AI can take care of a lot of that administrative stuff, like grading, lesson planning, even things like identifying which students might be struggling. And that frees teachers up to do what they do best: mentor, guide, and inspire.
It's like AI becomes this ultimate teaching assistant, It handles the tedious stuff so teachers can focus on the things that make us human.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And as AI takes on these new roles, it's also raising some really important questions about data privacy. After all, with all this personalization, there's going to be a lot of information about students, like how they learn, their strengths, their weaknesses.
That's a really good point. We are talking about some really sensitive stuff here. So how do we make sure student data is protected in this new AI-driven world?
Yeah, it's definitely something we need to be thinking about. Spair, he really stresses the need for strong data security, things like encryption, anonymization, the whole nine yards. And it's not even just about keeping that data safe. It's about what we're doing with it. Being transparent about how we're collecting it, how we're storing it, how it's being used, all that is going to be really important.
You're right. Parents, teachers, students, they all need to know what's happening with this stuff. But, while we're thinking about all that, let's talk about the really cool stuff. Spair seems really into this idea of virtual reality and augmented reality totally changing education, right?
Yeah, he does. And it's pretty cool to think about. Imagine, history class coming to life right in front of you. Students walking around ancient Rome in VR instead of just, reading about it. Or dissecting a frog in biology class. No mess, no fuss, all virtual.
Oh, man, that's wild. It'd be like trading in your textbook for a time machine. No more just sitting there trying to remember stuff from a textbook. You're right there experiencing it.
Exactly. And think about students who learn best by doing things. Hands-on learners. This would be huge for them.
It makes me think about when I was in school. I was a very visual learner, and some things were so hard for me to understand just from reading. I mean, who knows? Maybe if I had VR, AR back then, I would have aced those classes.
It is amazing to think about how technology can make those breakthroughs happen, make it click for all these different kinds of learners. And, AI's impact is not just limited to what's going on in the classroom. Spair also talks about those AI chatbots.
Yeah.
How they're being used more and more in education.
Chatbots. Okay, now I'm really interested. What's their role in all of this?
Think of them like a learning sidekick, available 24/7. Students could ask questions whenever, get instant feedback on assignments, even review tough concepts, all on their own schedule.
So it's like having, a tutor on call all the time, ready to help whenever. That could be a game changer for students who need extra help, especially after school's out.
Absolutely. And it goes right back to that idea of educational equity, making sure everyone has the same opportunities, chat bots. They can be really helpful for students who can't afford a private tutor, things like that.
Yeah, like we're leveling the playing field, making education accessible to everyone, which is amazing. But okay, let's talk about how this actually happens. How long until we see these AI tools in every classroom?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really depends on a lot of things. School budgets, do they have the right technology already in place? And, even if they do, are schools ready to make these changes?
Because, yeah, change can be hard. I mean, especially in a place like a school, right? There's a lot of tradition there.
Absolutely. But here's the thing. A lot of schools, they're already trying these things out, dipping their toes in the water.
Yeah.
Some have those personalized learning platforms. Others are using AI to do things like, scheduling or figuring out which students might need a little extra help.
So it's not just this fantasy, like something from the future. It's already here. That's really exciting. But with any new technology, especially something as, powerful as AI, you really have to make sure it's being used the right way.
I'm with you on that one. Spair really emphasizes that we need to keep talking about this. Educators, people making policies, tech developers, all of them. We have to make sure everyone's on the same page.
So it's not enough to just build these really cool AI tools. We have to make sure that they're being used in a way that's fair and actually helps students and teachers. We're talking about the future of education, which means everyone needs to be a part of this conversation. It really makes you wonder, with all this talk about how AI could change education, what does going to school even look like in this future? I mean, are we even going to have schools?
That's the question, isn't it? I mean, when AI can personalize everything and you can access so much outside of a classroom, you really have to wonder, what's the point of school at all?
Exactly. Will we even need actual buildings anymore? Could AI make them, obsolete?
Well, that's what everybody's debating, right? AI can definitely change how we learn, but Spair, he still thinks schools are important, as actual places. He thinks they'll become more like, community centers, places where people can get together and work together and learn those social skills that are, hard to learn online.
So it's not about getting rid of schools. It's more like we have to rethink what they are, right? Like how libraries aren't just about books anymore. They're kind of like community centers now, too.
Yeah, exactly. And in this new kind of school, teachers would, help students with their own personalized learning and help them, work together. Plus all that stuff that technology can't teach you, like how to think for yourself, be creative, understand how other people are feeling.
That's a good point, It's like AI could take over the stuff that AI is good at, and then teachers would have more time to focus on, being human. So maybe AI isn't something to be scared of, but a tool that can help teachers be even better at their jobs.
It's a whole different way of thinking about it, isn't it? It's not us versus them, humans against machines. It's about how they can work together so that everyone has a better experience.
This whole deep dive has been really eye-opening. It seems like we're at this tipping point where education is about to change in a big way. And while there are definitely some unknowns, there's a huge potential for good here.
It is really exciting. This whole look into AI and education, it reminds us that technology is a powerful tool, but it's up to us to use it the right way. We need to make sure that all students, everyone, has the same opportunities to succeed in this new world.
That's a great point. And, like Spair's blog post showed us, the future of education, it's looking pretty bright, personalized, and full of possibilities. This has been a really incredible deep dive, and if there's one thing I'm taking away from it, it's this. AI isn't just changing how we learn, it's reminding us what makes us human in the first place.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. We hope this got you thinking about the amazing potential of AI in education. Until next time, keep asking those questions and never stop learning.